Everyone says the same thing. If you want to build wealth, start with a budget. Track your spending, cut unnecessary expenses, make smarter decisions. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Budgeting alone won't make you rich, and yet, without it, almost nothing else works. So today we're going to follow the story of someone who finally looked at his numbers, and what he discovered completely changed his financial future. Welcome to Bad Advice Finance, the show where we explore the worst financial advice people follow and the real lessons behind it. Today's bad advice: just make a budget, because budgeting alone won't make you rich, but it might be the place where everything begins. Meet Daniel. Daniel is 32. He works a normal job and earns about $4,000 a month. He pays his bills, he goes out with friends, he buys coffee on the way to work. Nothing extravagant, and in his mind, he's doing fine. But one day, Daniel decides to do something he's been avoiding for years. He writes down every dollar that enters and leaves his life, and that's when he discovers the first truth about money. Most people don't have a spending problem, they have an awareness problem. Daniel writes down all his expenses: rent, utilities, food, subscriptions, transportation, entertainment. At first, nothing looks unusual, but when he adds everything together, the numbers tell a different story. Income, $4,000. Expenses, $4,350. Daniel isn't saving money. He's losing $350 every single month. And the worst part? He didn't even notice. Because that difference was quietly going onto his credit card, so Daniel looks deeper, and suddenly he notices things he never paid attention to. 3 subscription apps renewing automatically, streaming services he rarely watches, and one number that surprises him the most: coffee. A quick coffee on the way to work, another in the afternoon, a few on weekends. When he adds it all up, Daniel is spending over $200 per month on coffee, not because he's irresponsible, but because he never looked closely. And that's the real purpose of a budget, not restriction, awareness. Daniel makes a few simple changes. He cancels 3 apps. He reduces coffee spending. He becomes more conscious of small daily purchases. Nothing extreme, nothing painful, just small adjustments. Next month, his numbers look like this: income, $4,000. Expenses, $4,000. He's no longer losing money. He's at zero. Is that ideal? Not really, but it's a huge improvement, because he's no longer sinking deeper into debt. Now Daniel asks a different question, not, how can I cut more, but, how can I earn more? He considers a few options: driving Uber, selling things online, renting his car on Turo, picking up overtime at work. After thinking about it, he chooses the simplest option: 2 evenings of overtime each week, and suddenly the numbers change again. Now Daniel's monthly numbers look like this: income, $4,450. Expenses, $4,000. That means something new appears, a surplus, $450 every month. And Daniel makes one more important decision. Before spending anything, he invests $200 into VOO, $200 into SPY. These aren't random stock picks, they're ETFs. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. But the easiest way to think about it is this: imagine buying a basket filled with hundreds of companies. Inside that basket are businesses like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and many others. Instead of trying to guess which company will win, Daniel simply buys the whole basket, which means he now owns a small piece of some of the most successful businesses on the planet. Companies run by teams who know far more about building companies than Daniel ever will, and all he had to do was buy one simple investment every month, not huge amounts, but consistent. And consistency is what builds wealth. Now imagine 2 futures for Daniel. Future 1: he never made a budget. He keeps losing $350 per month on credit cards. With interest, after 10 years, that becomes roughly minus $65,000 in debt. Future 2: Daniel tracks his money, improves his habits, invests $400 per month. At an average return of about 10%, after 10 years that becomes roughly plus $70,000 invested. Same person, same salary, different habits. Budgeting won't make you rich, but it shows you the truth about your money. And once you understand that, everything else becomes possible. Better habits, higher income, long-term investing. Because wealth isn't built with one big decision, it's built with small habits repeated for years, and almost every form of passive income starts with something very active. Work.